Your mind can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. It holds the power to shape your reality, your happiness, and your success. But how do you take control of this incredible force? In today's journey, we'll explore 7 transformative lessons from Buddhism that will help you discipline your mind, conquer inner chaos, and unlock your highest potential. Imagine a life where distractions no longer control you, where you respond with calm instead of reacting impulsively. Picture yourself breaking free from old habits, mastering your emotions, and living with clarity and purpose. These lessons aren't just theories. They're practical steps you can take starting today. Get ready to uncover the secrets to mental freedom and inner peace. Let's dive into this transformative journey together. 1. Understand the enemy within. The journey to disciplining your mind begins with self-awareness. The enemy within is not some external force or person. It's the doubts, fears, negative thoughts and cravings that reside in your mind. In Buddhism, this inner turmoil is often referred to as the defilements of the mind, greed, hatred, and delusion. These mental states cloud your judgment, drain your energy, and keep you stuck in cycles of suffering. To understand the enemy within, start with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's like shining a flashlight into a dark room, revealing what's lurking in the corners. For example, if you notice recurring feelings of jealousy or fear, don't try to push them away. Instead, ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What triggers these emotions? The Buddha taught that understanding is the first step to liberation. When you truly understand the root cause of your negative thoughts, you can begin to let them go. This doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience and consistent practice. But with time, you'll realize that the enemy within is not as powerful as it seems. It's simply a collection of thoughts and patterns that you can change. 2. Reprogram your mind with identity shifts. Buddhism teaches that we are not fixed beings. We are constantly evolving. This concept, known as anatta or non-self, means that you have the power to redefine yourself at any moment. Your current habits and behaviors are not permanent. They are simply the result of past conditioning. To discipline your mind, you must start by changing how you see yourself. Think about the identity you want to embody. For instance, if you aspire to be more focused, start telling yourself, this affirmation might feel strange at first, especially if you don't believe it yet. But by consistently reinforcing this identity through small intentional actions, you can reprogram your mind. For example, if you want to become a mindful person, practice mindfulness daily, even for just 5 minutes. Sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe your thoughts. Over time, these small actions reinforce your new identity. This process aligns with the Buddhist principle of samavayama, or right effort, which emphasizes the importance of consistently working toward positive change. Identity shifts don't happen overnight, but they are incredibly powerful. By viewing yourself as a disciplined person, you naturally start making choices that align with this identity, and your mind begins to follow suit. 3. Embrace the art of controlled chaos. Life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how much we plan or organize, unexpected events will always occur. In Buddhism, this unpredictability is a reflection of impermanence, one of the 3 universal truths. The Buddha taught that everything is constantly changing, and resisting this reality only leads to suffering. Controlled chaos is about finding balance in the midst of uncertainty. It's about learning to navigate life's storms without losing your center. Imagine a river during a storm. It doesn't try to fight the current, it flows with it. Similarly, a disciplined mind learns to adapt to change rather than resist it. Start by practicing acceptance. When life throws unexpected challenges your way, take a moment to pause and breathe. Instead of reacting with frustration or panic, remind yourself that change is a natural part of life. Meditation is an excellent tool for cultivating this mindset. Through meditation, you train your mind to remain calm and focused even when external circumstances are chaotic. Another way to embrace controlled chaos is by exposing yourself to small, manageable uncertainties. For example, try stepping out of your comfort zone by taking on a new challenge or trying something unfamiliar. Each time you face uncertainty with courage, you strengthen your ability to stay composed in the face of larger challenges. Over time, you'll find that chaos no longer intimidates you. It becomes an opportunity for growth. In the pursuit of discipline, many people focus solely on setting goals. While goals provide direction, they are not enough to sustain long-term change. Buddhism teaches us to focus on the present moment and the process, rather than fixating on future outcomes. This is where systems come in. A system is a set of habits and routines that support your desired outcomes. For example, if your goal is to cultivate mindfulness, your system might include meditating for 10 minutes each morning, practicing gratitude in the evening, and taking mindful breaths during the day. These small, consistent actions create a foundation for long-term growth. Systems are effective because they shift your focus from results to actions. Instead of worrying about whether you've achieved your goal, you concentrate on the daily practices that move you closer to it. Over time, these practices become second nature, and the results follow naturally. To build effective systems, start by identifying one area where you want more discipline. Break this goal into small, actionable steps and incorporate them into your daily routine. Remember, discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. Even if you stumble, return to your system and keep moving forward. 5. Learn the power of self-command. Self-command is the ability to take control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions instead of letting them control you. It's the practice of choosing your response thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively to a situation. In Buddhist teachings, this practice is deeply rooted in mindfulness and awareness. It empowers you to navigate life with clarity, poise, and a sense of purpose. Imagine someone criticizes you harshly. Your immediate instinct might be to react with anger, defensiveness, or even retaliation. This is a natural reaction, driven by emotion rather than thought. However, self-command invites you to pause. In that moment, take a deep breath. Let the intensity of your emotions settle and ask yourself a simple yet profound question. What is the most constructive way to respond to this situation? This act of pausing is transformative. It interrupts the cycle of impulsive reactions and gives you space to align your response with your values and goals. Developing self-command requires conscious effort and consistent practice. Begin by identifying moments in your day when you feel triggered, times when emotions like anger, frustration, or impatience arise. Instead of acting immediately, practice pausing. Take 3 deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. Use this time to observe your emotions without judgment. Acknowledge what you're feeling, but don't let it dictate your actions. For instance, you might think, I feel angry right now, but I don't have to let this anger control my response. Over time, this practice creates a mental buffer, a space between your emotions and your actions. This space is where clarity and wisdom arise. You can step back from the situation and assess it with a calm, objective mind. You might even recognize that the criticism isn't personal or that it contains constructive feedback. By practicing self-command, you begin to respond in ways that strengthen relationships, reduce conflict, and enhance your inner peace. One way to strengthen self-command further is through consistent mindfulness meditation. Meditation trains your mind to remain present and aware, even in difficult situations. By sitting quietly and observing your thoughts without judgment, you develop the ability to do the same in everyday life. This strengthens your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting on autopilot. Another effective approach is to reflect on past situations where you reacted impulsively. Ask yourself, how could I have responded differently? This reflection allows you to learn from your experiences and prepares you to handle similar situations more effectively in the future. Remember, self-command is not about suppressing emotions or becoming robotic. It's about mastering your inner world so that your emotions and actions serve you rather than hinder you. It takes time and effort, but with practice it becomes a natural part of who you are. A disciplined mind, rooted in self-command, gives you the freedom to face life's challenges with resilience and wisdom. This freedom is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. 6. Conquer the addiction to comfort. Comfort is something we all naturally seek. Our minds and bodies are wired to avoid pain, discomfort, or anything that feels like a challenge. While comfort provides a sense of security and ease, becoming overly attached to it can hinder our growth and discipline. The Buddha's teachings remind us that true freedom and strength come not from clinging to comfort, but from learning to embrace discomfort with courage and resilience. Why is comfort so addictive? It's because it feels safe. Staying in your comfort zone means avoiding risks, challenges, and the possibility of failure. But Buddhism teaches us that clinging to comfort creates stagnation. Life is dynamic and ever-changing, and by avoiding discomfort, we miss opportunities for growth and transformation. Instead of progressing, we remain stuck in habits, routines, and behaviors that limit our potential. To conquer the addiction to comfort, we must first understand that discomfort is not inherently bad. In fact, discomfort is often a sign that we are stepping outside our comfort zones and challenging ourselves in meaningful ways. Think about moments in your life when you achieved something significant. It likely involved effort, uncertainty, and even some level of discomfort. Yet the rewards, growth, confidence, and success far outweighed the temporary challenges. The Buddha often taught about the middle way, a path that avoids both extreme indulgence and extreme deprivation. Conquering the addiction to comfort doesn't mean seeking out suffering or abandoning joy. It means finding a balance where you're willing to face challenges without being overwhelmed by them. It's about training your mind to see discomfort not as a threat, but as an opportunity. Start with small, intentional steps. Challenge yourself to do something slightly uncomfortable each day. For example, wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual, take a cold shower, or engage in a task you've been avoiding. These small acts of stepping outside your comfort zone help you build mental resilience. Over time, you'll develop the strength to tackle bigger challenges, whether it's pursuing a new career, speaking in public, or navigating a difficult conversation. Buddhist meditation practices can also help you embrace discomfort. During meditation, you might experience physical discomfort, restlessness, or frustration. Instead of shifting positions or stopping, observe these sensations with curiosity and acceptance. Remind yourself that discomfort is temporary and that you have the strength to endure it. This practice teaches you to sit with discomfort rather than running from it, which translates to greater mental discipline in daily life. Another powerful way to conquer the addiction to comfort is by reframing how you view it. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to fear or avoid, see it as a teacher. Each moment of discomfort holds a lesson. For example, a challenging workout teaches you perseverance, a difficult conversation teaches you courage, and facing failure teaches you humility and resilience. When you approach discomfort with this mindset, it transforms from an obstacle into an ally. It's also important to recognize the false sense of security that comfort provides. Staying in your comfort zone might feel safe, but more often than not, it silently holds you back from achieving your goals and discovering your true potential. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding by staying comfortable? What could I gain by stepping into discomfort, even just a little? Reflecting on these questions can become a powerful catalyst for growth. Overcoming the addiction to comfort doesn't mean abandoning joy or rest. It means breaking free from the quiet limitations that comfort can impose. It's about learning to meet challenges with curiosity instead of fear, and facing uncertainty with a growing sense of trust in yourself. The Buddha taught that life's greatest rewards often arise when we let go of attachment, including our attachment to ease and familiarity. As you begin to stretch beyond the edges of what feels comfortable, you'll notice a shift. You'll become more resilient, more flexible, more brave. Tasks that once seemed intimidating will start to feel possible. And the deeper reward? A quiet, lasting fulfillment that comes from knowing you are not stuck. You are becoming. This journey won't happen overnight, but each small, courageous step strengthens the mental clarity and discipline needed to move from comfort into freedom. 7. Align discipline with your higher purpose. Discipline is often misunderstood as mere willpower, the ability to push through, to force ourselves forward. But true discipline is not punishment, it is devotion, a sacred commitment to your deeper purpose. While willpower has its place, true and lasting discipline arises not from force, but from alignment with something deeper than goals or obligations. In Buddhist philosophy, this alignment often points toward compassion, mindfulness, and living in harmony with all beings. When discipline is rooted in higher purpose, it no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a pathway to meaning and fulfillment. Why is purpose so essential to discipline? Imagine trying to build a daily meditation practice. If your motivation is external, like impressing others, checking off a goal, or chasing an image of success, your discipline will likely falter once the excitement fades. But if your reason is deeper, if you meditate to return to inner peace, to be more present with loved ones, or to better serve the world, then your commitment gains endurance. It becomes sacred. Purpose gives discipline its soul. It transforms routine into devotion, effort into embodiment. So how do you begin aligning your discipline with purpose? Start by reflecting on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What kind of person do you wish to become, not just in the eyes of others, but in the quiet truth of your own heart? In Buddhism, these reflections often center on values like wisdom, compassion, and interconnectedness. If compassion guides your path, discipline might look like showing patience in moments of tension. If mindfulness calls to you, it could be the daily commitment to sit, to breathe, to return. Once you've discovered your deeper purpose, let it guide your actions, not with pressure, but with clarity. Because when discipline flows from meaning, it no longer drains you, it nourishes you. Let's say your higher purpose is to live a life of service. This deeper purpose can encourage you to stay disciplined in things like learning new skills, taking care of your health, or using your time wisely, because each of these helps you serve others more effectively. When you connect your discipline to a greater purpose, your motivation becomes stronger and lasts longer than any short-term reward or goal. Buddhism also teaches us about the power of intention. The Buddha reminded us that the reason behind what we do is just as important as the action itself. When you approach discipline with a clear and kind intention, like wanting to grow, help others, or seek truth, it changes how you experience it. For example, waking up early may feel tiring if your only goal is to be productive. But if your reason is to make time for growth or to spend quiet moments with loved ones, it suddenly feels more meaningful and worth the effort. Another way to connect discipline with your higher purpose is through gratitude. Take time to notice how your consistent efforts support your bigger goals. If you stay active and healthy, recognize how that energy helps you show up better for your family or pursue your calling. Gratitude strengthens the link between your habits and your purpose, making discipline feel fulfilling instead of forced. Also, remember to revisit your purpose now and then. Life is always changing, and your purpose may shift as you grow. Buddhist wisdom encourages us to stay open, to keep listening, learning, and allowing our path to unfold with clarity. From time to time, ask yourself, does my current path reflect my values and purpose? Are there new ways I can live more honestly and true to myself? This kind of regular reflection helps make sure your discipline stays meaningful and connected to your growing goals. Keep in mind, aligning discipline with your higher purpose doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Discipline is a journey, not a final destination. There will be moments when you slip or feel distant from your purpose, and that's completely okay. Use those times as chances to learn and grow. Be kind to yourself when setbacks happen and gently bring your focus back to your path. When your discipline is rooted in a deeper purpose, it becomes a source of strength and fulfillment. The effort you put in starts to feel truly worthwhile because it's helping you build something bigger than yourself. With time, this alignment brings a strong sense of peace and satisfaction, helping you live with more clarity, intention, and joy. These 7 lessons offer both practical tools and deep wisdom to help you train your mind. By facing your inner struggles, welcoming growth, building helpful habits, and living with purpose, you can shift your mental patterns and step into your full potential. Remember, this path takes time, patience, and steady effort. But the rewards, inner peace, clear awareness, and strength are truly worth it. Thank you for being part of this journey into powerful Buddhist teachings. May these insights support you as you master your mind and move closer to a life filled with peace and purpose. Until we meet again, stay mindful and stay inspired.